All praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakak double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. If you're a person, man, that believes in the Lord, right, and there's any kind of righteousness within you at all, then you should really be able to look into this world and see any kind of positive trajectory, man, in terms of the ideas that this world pushes out, man, and in not being able to see that, you should be constantly either cursing, pretty much just cursing this place out, man, in your mind, man, and with the things that you see. Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4, and Yahweh said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Right? So Yahweh's put spiritual marks, both in that time he did it, and in the time now, he's put spiritual marks on the people's heads that are against this place and that are angered by the things that they see in this world, man. Verse 5, and to the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city and smite, let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark. And that ain't talking about the Karag, man. That's talking about a word that I believe is Thawa, which is a mark of exemption, meaning that if anyone's got this on them, this spiritual mark on them, they ain't gonna receive judgment. That's what that's going into, man. So if you want to go back into other times, during the time of the flood, Noah and his family would have been the only people that had that during that time, right? It would have been Noah and his family that only had that during the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? It would have been Lot and Lot's two daughters that would have had that. But really, Lot was the only one that really would have had that kind of thing on him in that time. And in the time to come, it's going to be the 144,000, which some of them have already been sealed and already came and gone anyway. But it's going to be them and those that are alive from that number, plus the great multitude that are going to have that mark on them. And everyone else isn't going to have that. So they're going to perish in several different ways. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. And when you look out into this world, there ain't really no positive trajectory of anything, man, because everything's done, man. You've got people that are power bottoms coming out with these weird terms to express their desires of this world. People that are power bottoms, rappers wearing thongs, rappers wearing dresses, right? Rappers that are wearing nail varnish, people that are eating booty hole, all kind of crazy doctrines and philosophies that are going on in this world, man. People are on everything out here. You got people talking about how they're on demon time, right? You got people on podcasts thinking that they're exposing people for things that Dave did with them, but in exposing them for talking about what they did with a certain celebrity or rapper or whatever, they're also exposing what they did too. So both people are being exposed in that. There's nothing righteous around people going to concerts of musicians and losing their memory, getting concert amnesia. Everything's going on down here, man, and we can't even imagine the kind of things that are going on behind the scenes in this world. We can't even begin to imagine some of the things that Israelites out here are worshipping. Ezekiel chapter 8 and verse 6, he said, Therefore unto me, son of man, seest thou what they do, even the great abominations that the house of Israel committeth here, that I should go far from my sanctuary, but turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations, right? And that was way back in that time, which is the thing that made Yahweh want people to have a mark on them, that sign that cry for the abomination. But if it was to get a VIP pass, right, in the spirit, to see what kind of wickedness people are doing now, you would see all kind of things, man. You would see all kind of things and how these people are giving it up out here and what they're into, what directions they're prepared to breach out of their so-called integrity, how far to the left they're prepared to step from the integrity that they claim to have, man. You'd be disgusted by the things that you'd see if you was to see the things that these people do, man. Even people that are saying that they're Israelites, because there's got to be a reason why certain Israelites want to beat people up that don't even live in the same country as them, man. You're worried about meeting up with an Israelite that you want to fight that you've never met before in your life, and you've got a desire to lock people in rooms and all kind of crazy madness. Why? Because somewhere along the line you went too far to the left from your own integrity. That's the kind of reasons why you're going to be thinking stuff like that in your mind, because you've stepped away too far from what you thought you would never do. That's the reason why these things happen to these people, man. Somewhere along the line, they didn't pray too many times. They did something along the lines that made them spaz out, man. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 15, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever. And that's the thing that's funny, because all the things that people enjoy in this world right now, there's going to come a day where people don't know what TikTok is. There's going to come a day where people don't know what Instagram is. There's going to come a day where people don't know what Facebook was. So there's certain groups of people right now that don't even know that Facebook, that Meta, used to be called Facebook, right? They're like, oh, I remember when it used to be called this. There's certain people in this world that they don't know what Blockbusters was, right? They don't know what Blockbusters was. There's certain people that they don't know what Woolworths was. They don't. If you say to them, "Do you remember Woolworths?" They'll be like, "What? What's that?" If you say to certain people, "Do you remember what dub plate drama was?" Do you remember dub plate drama? They'll be like, "Nah." If you say to certain people, "Do you remember what Channel U was?" Remember them music videos that they used to put on Channel U in the UK, where they had Channel U on Sky TV? Remember that? They'll be like, "Nah, I don't remember that." They don't remember that. So the times always change, man. There's certain people that remember and was living through the times in New York City where they'd slap down cardboard, put a Kango hat on and all that, tracksuit, and start breaking it down on some breakdancing. But other people don't remember that. They know about getting sturdy now. The times always change, man. The times always change. So all the people that sell out for a particular time frame, right? When that time frame's gone, they're just cast away. All these people that get these crazy color hairdos, these crazy tattoos, because at the time that's the cool thing to do. When those times fade, they still have to stand where and remember that they sold out for that particular time, man. But there comes a time where the thing that you thought was cool runs out, man. But the kingdom of heaven's forever. So if you desire the kingdom of heaven, when the kingdom of heaven exists, that's gonna be a forever kingdom, man. It's never gonna end. So if you've put your chips into the kingdom of heaven, then when the kingdom of heaven comes to pass and we're in that, well, then you win. But most of the world, they've gone for this world, man. They've gone for this world and whatever particular decade or half decade that they thought was going to last forever, or whatever particular half decade or decade time frame that they thought was going to stay hot forever, man. And it never did, because it never does. Verse 18, little children, it is the last time, and as ye have heard, that Antichrist shall come, even now there are many anti-Mashiachs, whereby we know that it is the last time. And people are in this world are bugged out, man. You got people making their little children think it's cool to wear dresses. You got people that don't know how many genders there are, right? You've got teachers in schools trying to tell the children that it's okay for a boy to wear a dress. Just lying to them, right? You've got the children growing up hearing lies and growing up to believe these lies to be facts. Yet people think that there ain't gonna be no judgment for this, man. Let me get a scripture. I believe it's in the book of Romans. Right? I believe the scripture's in the book of Romans, if I can find it, man. Salakia. Maybe it's in Romans, the 3rd chapter. Romans chapter 3 and verse 5. But if our unrighteousness commend the righteousness of God, what shall we say? Is Yahweh unrighteousness who taketh vengeance? I speak of a man. God forbid, Yahweh forbid, for then how shall Yahweh judge the earth? So if Yahweh didn't shake people up, drown people, cause people to burn in flames, bring wild beasts to jack people up, right? Well then, how could he take vengeance and how could he judge the world without doing things like this, man? How could he How would you people suggest that he would prove that the way how we're living ain't right? Since all you people want to believe that you've got your own free will, if in your own free will, the way how you're living is wicked, how would you suggest that God goes about judging and proving that the way that you live is wicked, man? Wouldn't death be the way? Wouldn't that be the way? How he'd prove that? Romans chapter 6 and verse 23, for the wages of sin is death, but the gift of Yahweh is eternal life through Yahweh Shai Mashiach, our Lord. Every single time where people live wickedly, they get paid back in death. Every single time, right? Every single time. And this world needs to be judged because the people live wickedly down here. They don't live righteously, man. They live wickedly. That's all it's that you ever seem to see down here is people being wicked. In many different ways, man. There's many different categories in this world. Let me get this scripture. There's many different categories in this world where people can live wickedly. Many different ones. Several. Proverbs 14 and 12. There is a way which seemeth right to a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Right? Many people in this world think that their way is the right way, but we're going to see. We're going to see what it brings forth. Let me get this. Genesis chapter 6 and verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of his thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented Yahweh that he made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And wouldn't you say that that would be the way Yahweh's thinking again now? Because people are against Yahweh. They're against him, man. They're against the Lord. They're about everything opposite, man. Everything that would be potentially evil according to the scriptures, people are down with that instead. People are down with the complete opposite thing to what the scriptures would be saying. And they always desire to go the furthest away from what the Bible says. But then when they want to sound deep, they'll try and say something like, even the Bible says this about this or that. As if the Bible ain't the beginning of the wisdom. As if the Bible ain't backing up. It isn't the first thing that you should be going to. But they'll say, even the Bible. No, the Bible is the beginning of the knowledge. And every single society that's went against that, we've seen what happened to them. They always ended, man. And it always came a time frame where we saw the fruits of that kingdom and that it was wicked. And when you look back on them, you realize that it was wicked. And that the people that was living in them were complaining. And what does the scripture say? When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear all the people mourn. So if these societies of past times were so righteous, how comes the people that were living in them, the civilians that living in them, were always complaining about the leadership? 2 chapter 15 and verse 6, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works have fulfilled. So it has to be a thing where even more wickedness than what we see happens, man. All the things that we see that annoy us right now, they're going to be multiplied. And it's going to be even worse to where there's going to come days in your life where it seems like all you see is wickedness. You might walk towards the train station or whatever, and you see freaks. Then you might get off the train station and see freaks. Then you might go to whatever your location was and you see even more. Or if you don't catch trains and you drive, you might see them at the petrol station. Then the person behind the counter is one. And you're like, man, all I've seen today is wickedness. That's how it's going to get soon, man. Where there's going to be a particular day which some brothers have probably already had that, man, depending on what city you live in. Like if you live in a very big populous city like Miami, London, LA, or somewhere like that, you'd see that kind of stuff more. But if you live in a bit more of a secluded place, it'll be harder for you to see that. But even in some of those places with lower populations, there's going to come days where it seems like we just always keep seeing wickedness, man, and we're going to become like how Lot was, man, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Therefore saith Yahweh, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent of righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. It's going to get mad out here. There's going to be alphabet community, T's, that are going to be judges, making judgments on Israelite men's lives, but they're going to be dressed all weird and fruity, and they're going to be banging down that gavel, trying to make out like they're righteous and like they should be the judge of anything, man. Giving some crazy high. I could picture that happening. I ain't going to say that's definitely going to happen, but I could picture that happening, man, easily. Easily I could picture that happening. Verse 9, and therefore saith Yahweh, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. And how is he going to receive it? Because the blood that's shed has to be shed by the blood of him that shed it, man. That's how he's going to do it. He's going to give judgment to the whole land of America and make it become a sacrificial site, man, for all the blood that was shed of the children of Israel. That's going to be a continual place of remembrance that if you put your hands on the Israelites like this is what happens to you. This happened to this land because of what they did to the children of Israel. Verse 10, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, which is talking about America, Babylon the Great. America's the new Egypt. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and smite them with plagues as Egypt, and will smite them with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof, and all of America is gonna get it, man. That whole land. And for all you people that say why, read some history, man. All you people that want to say why does America do that, read a book, man. Don't you know how they got the land? Ain't you read anything about that? You think just because they've got a couple of nice buildings there, and because you can fulfill any wicked desires that the land shouldn't be destroyed, but you're a demon? Because even whatever country some of you heathen scoffers are from, America's ruined your country too. And that's why the same things that you want to go to America to do, you can't do them in your country. The same things that you can afford in America, and the same buildings and the same foods and all the things that probably come from your country, you can't even get them in your own country. The people that are living in your country can't even get those things because they've been brutalized and can't even make no money. But you people want to ask why America deserves to be destroyed. Why doesn't it deserve to be destroyed? I think is a better question. Why doesn't it deserve to be destroyed? What has America did it so good that it shouldn't be destroyed by God? That's a better question, man. Verse 11, but I will bring them with a mighty and stretched out hand and stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and I will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and the hail, and with a fearful consolation. And that's how famines are going to come to that land, man. Woe to them that dwell, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. So there's gonna come a day where people don't care about what anyone's saying, man. Men ain't gonna care about what women are saying. They ain't gonna be caring about what feminists are saying. They ain't gonna care about societal rules of who should go first. They ain't gonna care about cues. They ain't gonna care about, oh, the strong shouldn't take advantage of the weak. They ain't gonna care about the way how you normally get items from the stores in exchange for money. So you want this vest, you want this shoes or these trainers. You've got to trade it in for a certain amount of credits that we value this item as. They're just gonna steal it. They ain't gonna care about that social contract thing anymore. They're just gonna do whatever they want to do. Verse 17, a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. So all you travelers, all you people that like to travel the globe and all that, talking about I love to travel and all of this, you ain't gonna get to be traveling too far away from your own house in the time to come. You ain't gonna be traveling nowhere. You're gonna be locked on lockdown, man. You ain't gonna be able to go nowhere. You might not even be able to go to the park, man. How it's gonna get, which for all you people that want to say, nah, that couldn't happen, it already did happen to a certain degree. That kind of stuff already did happen, but it's gonna be worse than that. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. So because people are proud are running their mouths. Every single city on this earth, the day is going to come where all these different cities that people like to travel to are going to be troubled, man. They're going to be like the things that you see in these movies. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Right? Let me go back to verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. And right now in this world, women would deny this, and they'd say that this ain't true, a lot of them. But in this world right now, right, men have a lot of pity on women, you know. Men spare women a lot in this world, and plus men spare other men in this world too, right? Men that are stronger than other men, they spare them. And in a deep way, a lot of these wicked ass evil 2/3, man, they spare all the heathen because they know that because of the law, if they do something to these heathen that they really have a problem with as well, then they're gonna have some judgment given to them. So they take their anger out on other fellow 2/3 Israelites, or they try and take their anger out on the elect and on the 1/3 of Israelites that are not like them. And they'll try and claim that it's because they're corny or whatever, or you think they're righteous, but really it's because you know that you can't take your anger out on who you want to take your anger out on. So you try and take out your anger on who you know you can get away with it on, which is your own people, because Esau don't care if you take out your anger on your own people. He wants you to do that. That's how it really goes, man. If you people was really brave to speak about what you're really doing and the real psychology of how you do and how and why you do the things that you do, man. Because your minds are messed up to where you know that the only people you can get away with doing things to are your own people. The only people you can flex on with money is your own people because the heathen nations have got money like you without having to be able to sing or dance and do backflips on stage or dunk a basketball or hit 3-pointer J's, jump shots and all that. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. And in that time where the 2/3 can actually get these heathen as well, they're going to be getting them, man. Because they're even going to have their eyes open that, man, we always try to be cool, man. We always try to be like, you know what? I'm going to believe all that liberal, everyone stuff that y'all say. Okay, yeah, racism is a problem. We need to stop all that. And they're going to realize that all you people was lying all the time, man. It's going to make them angry. And they're these same day clone Tyrone drones, clones that you made in these labs with all your witchcraft and all that, and all the weird philosophies that you put out. They're going to turn against their maker, which is you. This wicked world that made these people, these gremlins, man, they're going to turn against their maker, man. Esau. Even some of these wicked ass Israelite women are going to turn against you as well, man. And they're going to be speaking and coming out about all the things that they saw when it was divesting and becoming your slaves, man, willingly. They're going to start speaking about all the times they heard you talking smack about the Israelite, man, and all the dodgy things that you made them do, man. They're going to start baiting out all the things that you made them do, man, all the wickedness, evil that they've seen under your rule, man. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. When all hell breaks loose, everyone and everything is going to be up for grabs, man. People ain't going to care, man. And this is the kind of message that is continually getting spoken about, and so that people can be warned about it, right? But the people don't believe that that can happen. They always think, oh, I've heard about World War One, I've heard about World War Two, I've heard about the times of the Roman Empire, I've heard about all these times, but that was them people though. That ain't us. That's for them countries though. That ain't this country. Okay, I understand that things are happening in Ukraine and that. Okay, I understand that things happen in the land of Israel, but that's for those people though. That ain't really a thing that happens in America. Okay, that's those people though. That ain't really a thing that really happened in the UK like that. They always believe that their city or their place is exempt from those kind of things, man. But they're gonna realize that it's not though, and that those are actually gonna be some of the main hotspots for some of these kind of things, man. And I think on that note, I'm gonna end the lesson, man. The day is gonna come where All these places are going to start getting jacked up, man. And I'm going to end the lesson there. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Makar Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. Shalom.